Hi guys, back Paul here. Hope you're all safe and well. So I wanted to bring out a video today just talking about some earphones that I've purchased recently. So these are the Samsung Galaxy Buds Plus. Now normally you probably wouldn't associate these with motorcycling or bikers. Obviously the intended purpose is really just for casual listening to music, and I guess if you're out running and going to the gym, they're perfect for that. But there are quite a few points that make these really good for use on a bike, and specifically if you're using a SatNav while you're taking your bike out for a spin. So I wanted to go through these. I have used them on the bike. We'll have some footage on the bike during this video, some vlog footage where I've tested them, and I'll give you my thoughts and opinions later on in the video on that. But first of all, we'll go over the features, and again just reiterate some points on why I think these are really good if you're wearing them in a helmet and taking your bike out for a long spin or a tour, and why these would be perfect. So firstly, as you might be able to see, they come with this little charging case here. Okay, so you can flip that closed. It keeps them nice and safe and secure. They don't wobble about inside. There's a little magnet. As soon as you open that case, it links directly to your smartphone, whether it be Android or iPhone. You only have to kind of set them up once in the app. On the phone that I have, it's a Samsung Galaxy S20, and there's a Galaxy wearable app. And once you set them up, you don't have to go into the Bluetooth settings every time. Literally, the moment you open that case, it connects to the app, and within that app, you can see the battery life both of the buds themselves, or the earphones themselves, and the case. And you can also adjust the way that they sound in terms of the bass, treble and so on. And you can also adjust the ambient noise level, so you can hear more of the outside world, which is really important. Obviously, if you're on a bike and you're using these for a sat-nav, you want to be able to hear the engine on the bike, help with your changing gear, and also the outside noise in terms of if there's any vehicles around you, maybe like a ambulance or police car coming up, anything like that. That's quite important. Now, one of the main reasons that I opted for these over other earphones is because they're so slim. My earphones prior to this were some Anker earphones, which are also Bluetooth, but they had a cable that ran around. I'll put a photo up now, and you had to kind of put the cable back around your neck, and it kind of always was in the way a little bit. When you're wearing a helmet, it was a bit irritating because it would rub on your neck, and you had to charge them through this cable, whereas these are kind of truly wireless. So if we take them out here, you can see they're really super slim. You can basically put them in your ears, and then you can do a little twist motion and they lock in place as such. And the good thing with these as well is they come with different, like what's called like wings on the side and the tips. You can kind of customize them a little bit as well and change them to how you want them to fit. But also what's good is they don't have long stalks, whereas I know the Apple AirPods and the AirPod Pros tend to have those long stalks that can hang down. And when I've had a look online, you don't see obviously many reviews from people who are wearing bike helmets, but there are the odd one or two on Amazon, and a few people have mentioned that they can get in the way, those stalks, when you're taking the helmet on and off, whereas these, they do fit kind of perfectly flush in your ears, so you can easily put your bike helmet on and off with no problem. You don't need to adjust them or anything like that, so they're really good. You could just pop them in, put the helmet on, and off you go. Instant connection, like I said, to your phone, so there's nothing to worry about there. In terms of the battery life, this is another good plus point for why they'd be good on a bike, because they have an 11-hour play time, and if you combine that with the case, in total you get 22 hours. And again, on the app it will show you the battery life of the buds themselves and also the case. So this case, basically once it's closed, you have a little LED on the front. If it's charging, that goes to red. On the back of the case, you've got your USB connection there. You can just charge it through a plug. You don't get an adapter with these. You get the cable but no adapter. Obviously that's the case nowadays with a lot of electronic items, phones and earbuds and other items. So that's the norm, unfortunately. But you charge it up. When you first get these, or when I first received delivery of them, they already had about a 50% charge anyway, so then I just basically plug them in to get them up to 100%, and the battery life seems really good. It takes a long time for them to reduce. I've only used them in the main in the house because I've only purchased them recently, but I have taken them out on the bike a little bit. But yeah, it takes a long time for the battery to go down. But again, another reason why these would be good is if you're on a long trip out on your bike, if you're using a SatNav, then obviously your SatNav is going to be constantly giving you those audio instructions, and over time the earphones, because it's communicating Bluetooth, the battery is going to drain. However, if you take the case out with you, then all you need to do is, pop them back in the case, and you're extending your battery life from the 11 hours to a total of 22 hours. And if you're not stopping off at a hotel or somewhere like that, that case is giving you that extra battery life. So rather than some headphones, once they're charged, that's all you've got. With these, once they've run out of charge, you can plug them into the case, because the case has already been charged. Say, for example, at home, it's got its internal battery in the case, and then that will charge them back up for you. And also, while you're waiting, they charge fairly quickly. So this is all information that I've got from the manufacturer's spec and from Amazon, and basically what Samsung detail. And Samsung state that you can get 3 hours of use or 3 hours of playtime on these from a 10-minute charge. So if you've got a USB outlet on your bike, or you're able to charge them from your bike, or even if you just stop off at a pub or cafe when they open and you can charge them up USB, 10 minutes should give you a few hours, which is probably going to be enough to maybe get you home, depending on where you're going. I know obviously not everybody uses SatNav on bikes, and there are the old school kind of brigade who will say, no, I prefer just to make it up as I go along. If I get lost, I get lost, or I'll use an old map book, or just write some instructions and stick them in a tank bag or something like that. That's fine, I understand that. I personally will not necessarily use a SatNav all the time. If I'm going on routes I'm familiar with, I'll just take the bike out for a spin. If I'm going longer distances or somewhere I'm not familiar with, I'll probably use a SatNav. And I've got a USB outlet on my bike. If you look on my channel, I've got a Yamaha MT-09, and I've put some links as to how I fitted that USB outlet. So I can basically put my phone, I've got a phone mount on the bike, connect it to the USB, and then just use Bluetooth headphones to have the SatNav going. And it's a lot safer, obviously, having audio instructions from a SatNav as well as the visual details on the phone, because you can't always necessarily look down to see when the next turn is, or a lot of information. It's a lot easier to get that in audio format. So again, there might not be something that everybody's interested in, but if you're using a SatNav on a bike, I would definitely recommend these. And there are other earphones as well within this range. So these are the Buds Plus. They're not the newest and latest. There are some, I think they're called Galaxy Buds Pro, and they are around about £200. The reason I was drawn to these is at the moment on Amazon they're on a deal of where it's just under £80. I actually got them before that deal where they were just over £100, but you could pay monthly. I think it was 5 months, 20 odd quid a month with no interest. So I thought, well, why not? It's something that's going to be useful in future. And I do use them off the bike, and from an audio point of view, they sound excellent. I mean, I'm no audio expert. I haven't got, any background in that area. But compared to the earphones that come with the phone, they seem better than those, I would say. And they're better than my previous earphones, which were the Anchor ones. And yeah, plenty of light bass, they're really nice and clear. But really, I wanted to kind of look at them from a biker's point of view, and how you can use them in that way. I think the other earphones in the range, you've got these Buds. Well, they have the Samsung Buds, which are the original ones, the Galaxy Buds, and they have an inferior battery life to these. So if you're going to get any, I'd probably go for the Buds Plus over the Buds. These have a better battery life. Then you've got the Galaxy Buds Live, which are sometimes referred to as the beans, because they look like sort of like kidney beans in a way. And I've heard mixed reviews about that, because a lot of people said that they can be uncomfortable depending on, obviously everybody's ears are different, and the way that they fit in your ear can be a little bit uncomfortable. So not certain, I weren't really sold on those. And then obviously you've got the Buds Pro, but they're more than double the price of these. So I'm not sponsored by Samsung or Amazon or anything like that. As with all the videos on my channel, everything I review, I buy. and just out of my own money. So I'm not affiliated or endorsed by anybody. So it's not in my interest to kind of, sell these to you as such. I just wanted to give you an idea of what my thoughts on them were, really. Obviously, there's a huge range of these out. There's Jabra, Sony, Sennheiser. There's all different makes and models, and obviously you've got Apple's own brand. I'm not saying these are the best because I'm not testing them back to back against others, but I just wanted to compare them to what I used to have and give you my thoughts on what they're like on a bike, because I've not seen really many videos online or on YouTube where people are looking at these from a biker's point of view. I know there are helmets available that have Bluetooth functions built into them sometimes, and you can buy Bluetooth headsets and intercoms for bikers, but I didn't really want something bike specific. I wanted something I could use on and off the bike. So yeah, hopefully you found this video useful. I'll put some links below in the description so you can check these out and have a look at them. But overall, like I say, excellent quality, as you'd expect from Samsung. Most of the stuff they sell is good. I've got the Galaxy Watch and I've always enjoyed that. That's really good. But these fit in the case really nicely. Plenty of charge, really comfortable, and I think they're quite a good deal for the price. So again, hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. I put out a range of videos. It has been a little bit quiet on the channel recently, mainly due to the COVID, because it's difficult to take the bike out and also to be able to get bikes for reviewing, but hopefully we can get some more videos up soon. So I've got the Galaxy Buds in place now on the bike, and they feel perfectly comfortable. I wouldn't even say you notice that they're there. The helmet I've got is a Shoei NXR, and went straight over the top, no problems at all, so they don't get in the way when you're putting the helmet on and off. And I've not even toggled the ambient noise feature on yet, but already I can hear the bike perfectly fine in the outside world. I think if you were just wearing these, in everyday life, just going for a walk or in a city centre or something like that, they probably would block out a lot of noise. But because obviously bikes are inherently pretty noisy anyway, I don't think it really makes that much difference. I will toggle the ambient noise on in a short while and just see what difference that makes. But yeah, you can hear traffic, you can hear the bike, they're not blocking noise out as such. The SatNav is coming through lovely and clear, and yeah, so far definitely recommend these, and they're just so much easier than my old earphones. Like I said, they had a cable that get in the way, or that used to get in the way, and these are just dead easy to use. Just pop them in, they automatically link up to the phone, the SatNav kicks in straight away. And I mean, obviously a lot of this video I'm referring to using these for a SatNav. There's nothing to stop you listening to music. It's personally, I just find that a bit that I wouldn't be able to concentrate as much. I'm not a fan really of playing music or listening to music while I'm on my bike. I'd probably get too irritated by that in terms of like wanting to skip to another track and the volume and so on, but I know some people do. So I've turned the ambient noise on, and it's okay. I would say it's probably a little bit distracting. You get a bit of a hissing noise, and it's quite, in a way, strange. It's sort of simulated. I think it's because it pulls in noise from the outside world through the microphone. So yeah, you get a bit of like static and hissing. You can hear more. I can hear the engine more, but I think the static is probably just because the earphones are inside the helmet. I'm guessing if you were just out and about, walking and jogging and so on, you probably wouldn't get that, but I think it's because they're in this kind of enclosed space that you get a bit of static, but it's not a problem. I mean, I've got that on the medium setting as well, so you could probably just flick it down to low. But like I say, in all honesty, I probably wouldn't even need this really. I think you can just turn the ambient noise setting off, just have them on as normal. You can still hear the engine, still hear everything else, and yeah, I don't think it's really a requirement, but I guess it's a nice little feature nevertheless. If you just want to hear a little bit more noise, then it's not a problem. It's just a little bit odd because it's a bit staticky, that's all. So yeah, I would just go with the standard setting, but again, I've been riding for a while now and they're just so comfortable, you don't really even notice they're there, and excellent overall.